Uh-oh. Hey, there we go. Hey everybody, a little late here, sorry about that. Bedtime went a little long. Just getting everything set up. Right. It is hot here in Chicago, hot. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Hey guys. Again, sorry about the delay. Let me just grab a couple things. We'll get rolling here. Got lots of cool stuff to show everybody. Here, I'll put let's put one of these up here for a minute while I get going. Oh, is this camera not working? Okay, sorry everybody. One of those days. All right, there we go. Now let's get them going. All right. Oh, hey, there's an ambulance. Of course. One of those days, you know? One of those days, everybody. Well, if you're tuning in and you were at Heroes, let me know. Tell me in the comments if you're there. What did you think of it? Did you have fun? Did we talk? All right. Hello, wonderful people. Okay. All right. Well, everybody, it is very hot in here because when I run the air conditioning, it's very loud. So we're going to try to roll through this and still give everybody everything some time here. And then we're going to do some inking on this Conan drawing, and hopefully we'll have a good time. The Manny draws. Manny was there. Jeremy was there. I know Jeremy was there. Manny, good to see you too, pal. I wish I could have seen you a little bit more. It was a bit of a whirlwind. I'm sure it was a whirlwind for you as well. So I completely understand that, yeah, we didn't get to talk too much, but we did get to talk, and that was great, Manny, because good to see you. And Jeremy, thank you so much for coming by, man. It was really great to talk to you as well. Really a pleasure, and I'll get to it in a minute, but thank you for the comics. Oh yeah, actually, let me grab one more over here. Where did I put it? Oh, okay. It's already over here. All right. Okay, folks. So I was at Heroes Con this weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you've never been to the show, it is sort of the best way to describe it might be a comic creator-centric show, but focusing mostly on comic creators who work for the larger publishers. I did meet a lot of awesome independent artists there, but I would say that the show itself probably focuses more on people who've been published for a long time by the big two. I would say that's one of the big downfalls of the show, is that it doesn't maybe show the support to the independent people that other shows do, which is unfortunate. That being said, it is packed with talent, packed with amazing artists from all eras of comics. A lot of the kind of people maybe you read when you were a kid, the guys drawing comics from the 80s and the 90s, the old timers, the ones who maybe, what they do, they've been doing it a long time, and hey, if you like it, there they are. Maybe not as packed with exciting new up and coming cutting edge creators, but hey, I was still able to find some at the show, and I have some of their work here to show y'all. And I haven't had a chance to read everything yet, so I'll do some flip throughs and we can look through it really quick, but I unfortunately can't comment on the exact material in every case, just because I have I got home yesterday, was just completely wiped out from the long weekend, and then kind of today I was just unpacking and catching up on emails and packing orders and stuff like that. So yes, I've not had a chance to read these yet, but I am excited about them. I got this. This is a cool little comic shop that gave me a sticker. Wake Up Comics in Nashville, Tennessee. If you're in Nashville, go check them out. They seemed really nice. And I don't remember this one, so I'm not gonna misspeak about it. All right. Okay. So where to start? I was lucky enough to have a lot of folks give me some cool books for free, and so we'll kind of just go through them and take a quick look. I do remember this one. The writer is Justin Jordan, and the co-creator and illustrator is Brian Ching. I think I spoke with the publisher, and I think I spoke with Carl Choi, I think, was the publisher that brought this by. But this has some really cool art and some great colors by Will Quintana and letters by Micah Myers. I think I met Micah while I was there as well. As you can see, kind of a gory sci-fi book, pretty awesome. Check in with the chat here again. Connor Valentin, still recovering from Heroes. What a great weekend. Manny Draws says he'd agree with me. Thanks, Manny. I think you know what I mean, Manny. Ichthus is here, of course. Total excellence. Did you have fun at Heroes? I did have fun. I will say that. I had a really fun time talking to a lot of people that I don't get to see very much in person. Actually, maybe I'll just go through that really quick. I was able to see a lot of friends from other places and meet some people in real life that I hadn't met. Tabling right next to me to my right was John P. Golden, which I have one of his books over here. I think it was the first one I had up. Of course, I put it down at the bottom of the pile here. Yes, so John Golden did this book, Bone Men. He did a lot of other things. This is just one of the books he's done, but he was an awesome neighbor to have at the show. We had really good chats, and we actually did an art exchange, he and I, where he had been sitting there all weekend and kind of doodling and working on commissions and stuff, and he drew this Venom drawing. Where did I put it? Sorry, everybody. It's over here, I think, in my portfolio. Here we go. So John had drawn this awesome Venom, and I was like, it was like Sunday, and another unfortunate thing was that a lot of the larger name artists and special guests didn't really stay for most of the day on Sunday, which is kind of a drag for the fans that came, and kind of a drag for the rest of us that were still tabling there until the show closed. So that was a bit of a bummer. But the cool thing was that it gave me more time to talk to John and look at his art. John drew this Venom, and I'm sitting there and I keep looking over at it. And I'm like, dang, that's a cool drawing. And so at the end of the show, I was like, what are you going to do with that Venom, man? Is that for somebody? You're like, He's like, you want it? And so he gave it to me. And I was like, oh, man, thank you so much. And so I traded him a drawing I had done of Hulk. And I thought that was a fun trade. And then I got a bonus drawing on the back. Isn't that cool? I love it when you get a little bonus piece of art, So yeah, John P. Golden, awesome guy. And I can't wait to actually read this Bone Men book. I had seen it, but not read it. Whoa. Oh, and he did this Sonic drawing too. This Sonic thing, pretty silly. So Bone Men, John's style is so cool. It is really cool. We'll talk about that really quick, and I'll mention some other cool artists. He's got a great sense of line weight. I like his cool outlines. He still adds in cool little hatching, and there's a cartooniness to it, but it still has weight. Look how awesome these trees are. It's so cool. Oh man, it's so cool. I think this is one of his older ones, but it's still pretty amazing. He does a lot of drawings of pro wrestlers and stuff too. Look at that awesome horse dude. That is so cool. Yeah, he does a lot of drawings of like pro wrestlers and stuff. He was doing commissions of pro wrestlers and things like that. Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust this here. That might be a little bit scoot over a little bit. All right. So you guys should totally check him out. John P. Golden on Instagram. I don't know if he's on Twitter, but he's on Instagram. Really great guy. I had a really good time talking to him. I got to see. I was rooming with my pal Brian Level. If you guys don't know Brian Level, he's done all kinds of work, but his best stuff, in my opinion, is some of his weird independent comics that he makes. You should check him out as well. Let's see. The art looks okay. Here we go. John's a cool dude. He is a cool dude, Manny. I'm glad you say so too. John Connor seems to like John as well. Zesty Beetle says that's sick. The Venomous Fire. Eck. Yeah, man, definitely. I of course got to see my brother that's not my brother, Xander Cannon. Xander and I have known each other now for a few years, but we're both Cannons, but we're not related. And it's funny because his studio mate is Kevin Cannon, he's also not related to. So, I feel like my name is pretty unique and rare to see around this industry. So it was kind of interesting that there's three of us kind of connected now. But Xander Cannon's awesome. Kaiju Max, really good to talk to him. Got to hang out with Ryan Brown, another Chicago boy that I need to see a little more often. Creator of 8 Billion Genies and God Hates Astronauts. Who else? I got to catch up with Sanford Green, artist on that new Doom book. Sanford is like just one of the best artists working right now. His stuff is incredible, and I've had a chance to get to know him a little bit, and he's like the nicest guy, and he's so encouraging, and I really appreciated that. Like, Sanford's always given me encouraging words. He's a good dude. Saw my boy Daniel for a minute. Usually when I'm at a show that D-Dubs is at, I'm kind of like, A, he's busy, and B, I'm like, he lives down the road, so I'm kind of like, we don't need to talk to each other at the show very much, But we did have dinner with some of the Felix guys, Lambert and Yams, two really good guys that help out Felix, and John, my friend John, who is just a collector, a really good guy though. I'm going to think of more names as I go through here, but I want to just show you guys some of the work, and we can talk about it as we go. So again, this one is pretty sick. It looks pretty sick. The guy brought it by, and I was like, whoa. So it's called Zero Ghost. This is the Ashcan edition, and they're like a new comic kind of publisher called 24/7 Comics, and I think this is one of their first books. Justin Jordan, of course, Luther Strode fame, and The Spread, and all these other things. He's pretty cool. I like a lot of his stuff. It's always got cool reference points. But yeah, the colors on this are wild, man. I mean, they're just wild. There's a little too much blur for my taste in some cases, but the actual palettes and stuff is real nice. And the art is cool. It's got sort of a Jamie Hewlett, Sean Gordon Murphy kind of look to it. Pretty cool. Ichthus says, I'm not sure, but you might need to collect a DNA sample. Yeah. Manny, yeah, Yams is a cool dude. Yams is like awesome. Yams is the best. He's just the best. I've had some good times with Yams. He is really a good guy. Always also gives me good advice. He's kind of a real dude, he tells you what he thinks. Good guy. So yeah, check this out. Like I said, I think I talked to the publisher. I didn't really talk to the artist or the writer, but I did meet Justin Jordan long time ago. I was tabling next to him at Rose City when they were working on, I think, Luther Strode 2. That was interesting. Here, what do we got here? We got Martyred. I can't remember who it was that brought this by from the team on the book, but let's look at it and see what it looks like. It looks kind of cool on the outside. It's got that soft touch coating on the cover, which is kind of nice. Here, let me see if I can get this a little better position for everybody. Yeah, and kind of looks like kind of an anime manga style. Travis Tovria is the script, lines by Jose Garcia. I think Travis might have been the one who brought this by. I feel like it was the writer. But yeah, it's got like kind of a cool gray tone look. I remember flipping through this when he gave it to me. And it's kind of like a dark fantasy is what it looked like, kind of dark fantasy style book with people in armor and but yeah, this art's pretty neat. It's definitely, you could see the anime influence. I would say anime even more than manga, probably. I like these gray tones, though. Kind of bloody. This is pretty rad. That's kind of a rad drawing of a dude. What do we got here? Yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't know if any of you guys saw this at the show, but it's pretty neat. I'll have to read that later. Martyred by Tovria, Garcia, and Desai. And it looks like it's just self-published, so here we go. I love a self-published comic. Put that on the reading pile. All right. All right, here we go. Who's next? The Exciting World of Chaldoon. Okay. And if any of y'all know these folks, sound off. Written by Jesse Chagnon? I don't know. Tim Wilsey, that's right. Tim Wilsey did the pencils and colors and stuff on this. Tim is an awesome dude I met at the show. This has a pretty neat look to it. He's got that cool sort of wobbly brushed line, you know? That kind of look. I like that. Neat palettes. So this appears to be another sort of fantasy style book with maybe some other elements thrown in. There seems to be a lot of fantasy comics coming out in the underground stuff right now. I guess, you know, I feel like back when I was doing more, that's, you know, I'm still involved in that scene, but when I was doing those shows, you know, 2009 through maybe 2016, there was like all the like self-published people were doing sci-fi stuff. You know, it's like everyone had some kind of cool, weird sci-fi comic. And now I feel like I see a lot more fantasy stuff, which is cool. You know, I mean, I'm not as aware of fantasy fiction stuff, but I like what I see. Yeah, this is very cool. Looks like, yeah, I bet if you looked up these guys, especially Tim Wilsey and Jesse Chagnon, check out their stuff. This is pretty neat. The Exciting World of Chaldoon. Okay. Fantastic Amazement. This one I did flip through a little bit at the show. It's pretty cool. There's this shark, kind of shark-headed dude. I don't know if it's a shark, but in a business suit. And when I was flipping through it, it's got some halftone dot stuff, but then some really cool hatching. And I like what they're doing with the text over here. It's pretty neat. Like right away when I opened it up, I was like, okay, this is sort of my style. I like the way they're kind of playing with panel arrangements and doing some kind of crazy detailed stuff. Pretty cool. Victor is a champ. Okay, so yeah, he knows. All right. So Victor Alpi is the writer and illustrator on this. And I believe it was Victor that brought this by for me, if I do recall correctly. I see some... Oh, okay. I like this guy already. I see Easter eggs in here. Oh, I love a good Easter egg. See, he's got down here, I see Grixley. I don't know if that's a reference to Grixley Cola, an artist that I follow. Mad King Ganon. Jerk Comics. Space Knights. Yeah, a little cool stuff hidden in there. The hue marks. But you can see this kind of also has a gray tone look, which I really like. Honestly, I think the future of a lot of the stuff that's going to be happening and popping off is going to be kind of black and white, maybe gray tones, maybe zip tone work. Stuff that has a manga influence seems to be what's popping right now, and I am all for it. I'm all for it. So this looks really cool. I'm excited to read this. Lots of exaggerated, you know, characters, cool panel arrangements. This looks super, super neat. Got some pinups in the back. Actually, I think, yeah, Mark Laszlo, he was at the show. Actually, let's go through here. See who's in the back, too. We'll shout them out. Chancey Blakey, Bill Hewitt, Erwin Papa. I've seen Erwin's stuff. It's really good. James Edward Clark. Jamie Jones, Jason Lego, John P. Golden, my booth buddy, Joey Navarra Jr., Who else is on here? Kevin Anthony Catlin, Kendrick Mast, Marcus Cripps. We'll talk about Marcus in a little bit. Another Mark Laszlo. He was at the show. Oh, hey, look at that. Raymer Brunson. Brunson, you in the chat tonight, man? You're usually hanging out with us. Mike Becker, Omar Sanchez. Oh my gosh, he's got so many cool pinups in here. Enzo Garza, Gut Ghost. That's always cool to see. Yeah, this is pretty rad. Ewan McLaughlin, Meredith Laxton. Definitely looking forward to reading that. It's also got a really nice printing kind of thing going on. Oh. Hey, look at that. Hey, speak of the devil. Check this out. This is one of the coolest things I got at the show. This is a little X-Men fan comic with Dazzler and Longshot, amongst other characters. And this is awesome. Like, look at how cool that cover is. Isn't that cool? And being somebody who did my own little X-Men thing, I was so excited to see this. Check out this mojo on the back. Ah, it's so cool. He's got this, like... Well, so this is... I found out about this because I know Matt Mayer Lowry. I worked with him on his Thoughtscape anthology. We did a couple shorts together, Drones and The Spy Without a Face. And Matt's great. And he told me he was going to do an X-Men fan comic. And so I was like, I got to get it. He got Jeremy Brooks to do the art and then Marcus Cripps to do the colors. Jeremy Brooks' style is very like Jim Mahfood, very like Ralph Steadman, Bill Sienkiewicz. You know, it's got this kind of freedom of line. It's really, really cool. This book is awesome. It's kind of like a meta tale of Mojo trying to get these, get the X, getting the X-Men involved in these situations. So Dazzler's playing a show, and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or whoever show up, and there's this running gag that Juggernaut is running to try to get to the Dazzler show. But he shows up, and like the show's already been interrupted by a fight with Mystique and Avalanche, and we got Spiral here. But look at this awesome drawing of Juggernaut right here from the back. He's just got these little scribble kind of indications on the arms and legs that are so neat. Kind of dark on camera, I guess, but you can kind of see it. But it's so cool. It's just a little short, like really fun X-Men story. And then there's a couple pinups in here by Bridget McConnell, Dave Law, Jeremy Brooks. Pretty awesome. So you can check out Jeremy Brooks, Marcus Cripps, and Matt Mayer Lowry, Bridget. There's a bunch of people on here. Rico Renzi on Instagram. I should have put this all in the description, but you know me, I was doing bedtime, so that didn't happen. I'll try to do it later. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's a poster by old Greg and Fake, another Chicago person, but he was handing this out. Buy more comics. It's got Alf on there, so I'm into that. Kind of a funny little poster. Oh, don't fall. All right. Okay, really quick, before I talk about these next two, I have like all this ACs and stuff running kind of gives me like a runny nose. Oh, my nose. I know that's TMI. I'm just going to do that really quick right over here. Is that bad stream etiquette? Probably better than sniffling the whole time. So, all right. I'm going to just embarrass this guy right now. Jeremy Heiler, who is in the chat right now, y'all. Check out his work. Jeremy Heiler is a frequent watcher of the stream, and what a great dude. Not too long ago, he sent me... I believe Jeremy had maybe not been drawing for a long time and decided to get back into it and make comics. And I remembered... one of the first times him saying something like, when we were emailing maybe or chatting somewhere, he was like, yeah, it's like my first comic. And then he showed me what he's working on. And I was just like, geez, man, like this is really good. So this Batman one is just kind of like a Batman story done in gray tones with no real words. and it is 100% up my alley. Just a cool Batman fan comic. He fights Mr. Freeze. There's some really, really cool paneling in here and some really cool effects right here. You know, Batman's kind of, there's the snow coming down. And I love the way as Batman keeps going forward and comes closer to us, the snow kind of gets bigger and a little more intense, like he's pushing harder and harder against it. It's so cool. And he's got some speedline stuff, and look at this. Look at this awesome fist action here. That is so cool. A little super punch action over here. This is very, very cool, y'all. And I don't know if Jeremy's selling them or not, but you definitely need to go check out Jeremy's work. And then he has a whole little making of thing back here. Every comic should have this. So cool. So cool. Really, really awesome stuff. And then Jeremy came by and gave me this one, which is kind of a Splinter Ninja Turtles fan comic, and it is also so cool. Yeah, here's Jeremy. He says, I haven't drawn in 20 years. Sheesh. Buddy, well, you know, it's like riding a bike, I guess, man, because you got some really cool stuff in here. So this one's called Always My Father. And I'm not going to like read the whole thing and ruin it for you, because you should all just go read it. And if Jeremy has them available, support him. But it is a very touching story about dad stuff, you know? And now that I'm a dad, this was really speaking to me. It's got a nice little palette here, you know, and it's got, you know, a great balance of light and dark. You know, he uses silhouettes and parts. The amount of story that Jeremy gets through just in these first like 4 pages is pretty awesome. You get a total sense of who Splinter is and what he's all about. It's pretty great. And then, oh, I love this right here. So he's like eating. I am gonna ruin this part. He is like eating, and but then this kid is about to get hit by a car, and so he like speeds over there and gets him out of the way. And then this is gonna be hard to see on here, but this drawing right here, this panel right here, made me laugh out loud, because he's like, you know, they're like, oh, he's so fast, he saved the kid, and he's like giving him a hey, and then someone off panel's like, he didn't pay, like for his food that he was eating, and that made me laugh. I thought that was pretty good. All these drawings of Splinter are pretty rad. Oh, look at that. So cool. Oh, so cool. So yeah, y'all should check this out. It is really fantastic. And then I saw a preview of the next thing he's working on, which was pretty rad too. I'm not going to spoil it. Jeremy should reveal it himself when he's ready, but it's going to be pretty cool. So really good to see you, Jeremy. Thanks for coming out to the show, man. I really was glad to meet you in real life. It was cool. Okay, what do we got here? Connor Valentin, Doom fan comic here. This is pretty cool. It's got sort of it's printed on newsprint, and it has kind of a what's the word for it? Yeah, like an older self-published comic feel to it. What a lot of people, or some people might call outlaw comics, lovingly. This definitely has that feel. It's kind of gory. It's pretty raw. When I was flipping through it earlier, I probably should actually be careful which pages I show, because it's pretty raw. But it's pretty cool. It's like a little Doom fan comic, but it goes all out. I mean, here's a Doom sitting in like a whatever they call those things, pentagram or whatever. But yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me check with the chat here again. Ichthus says, Jeremy, that's killer. Manny says, dude, that's sick. That's right. Awesome freeze design, really amazing. Getting back into it. Zesty Beetle says, make more comics, Jeremy. We want them. That's right. These are awesome. Very cool. Awesome. Cool. Thanks everybody for showing the love there. But yeah, this book is pretty awesome. It's pretty rad. If you're into kind of that older black and white sort of, really kind of rough and crazy work, you would totally dig this. So I don't remember my conversation with this person. It might have been quick, but Connor Valentin, pretty cool. And again, I didn't read it yet, so if it says something terrible and I don't know, please don't get mad at me. I'm assuming that everyone I met was cool and not some kind of wacko. Adam Seat Illustration gave me this little card. He's doing these illustrations of little bugs, and he has a whole series, and it's really, really cool. So, you know, when he gave me this card, I saw some of the other ones. So Adam Seat Illustration on Instagram. All right, dude, I still have like 4 or 5 more books, right? And then I'll start inking this Conan. But yeah. All right, we got, what is this? I don't remember who gave me this. Kind of a Mando thing, kind of cool. Sorry if it was one of you guys. I don't remember that one. Let's see what we got here. Nobody's Safe. This is a little Spider-Man, X-Men kind of fan comic thing. This guy, the Rojo Kova, came by and talked and showed me his portfolio, and we had a good chat about his work. And he has some really cool stuff in here. There's some really good staging of the action, really kind of dynamic panels. But we had a really good chat. He you know, we did like a portfolio review, and I'm really glad that he came by. I believe he's been on the stream a few times, so if you're out there, bud, it was really good to meet you in real life and kind of talk about the work. One thing I like that he does in here is, where is it at? Where's it at? Where's that page at? Oh, check this out. So he's got this like fire in the eyes here. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. And then there was, where's the other spot? Oh, here we go. Check this out. All this like the symbiote kind of stuff coming off. Pretty cool. But yeah, check them out. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, dudes. Okay, dudes. People, friends. This is Blood Magic Tales. It's going to be on Kickstarter in September, which is probably about the same time the Eris Kickstarter is going to come out, so we can do some cross promotion. And I was talking to Andy Curry, Yo Curry, about this. I've known him for a minute, off and on, and I did a commission for him at some point. Good guy, and he's working with Troy Nixie. Troy Nixie of like Jenny Finn and director Troy Nixie and amazing commissions Troy Nixie. And this is the book that they're going to do. I don't know a ton about it yet, but it's Troy Nixie and Yo Curry, so I'm like, I'm in, you know. And he had some of these originals at the show. This is like a little preview copy, and the originals were incredible. Like, just, I mean, Troy Nixie is incredible, an incredible illustrator. Check this out. Bong, bong, and you kind of get the shapes of the monster shapes in there. So cool. Whoops, that's not them. So this is going to be super cool. If you're not already following Troy Nixie or Yo Curry, you really need to, because Troy can draw. Yo Curry can draw too, but he's the writer on this. So it's Yo Curry 72 art, and Troy Nixie is just Troy Nixie, I think, on Instagram with like an underscore. So check that out. Those guys are super awesome. 2 cool guys. Let's see. Pleasure to talk. Yes, Jeremy, it was a pleasure. Thanks, everyone. It was me. All right, this one is May Fumato. This is another one. Oh, this is them. This is Yo Curry writing and drawing. So the writer of the other book I was just showing writes and draws, and his drawings are awesome. He does sort of it's like a minimalist style, but with these touches of screen tone and texture. Look at this. We got like a skateboarding samurai here. Very open feeling, you know. Everything has sort of a dreamy feel to it. But his stuff's super rad. And a really nice guy. A super nice guy. So Yo Curry 72 art. All right. From Hell's Heart. This is another John P. Golden. So right back to my buddy John, who is my next door neighbor. And this one is a little more fresh, I think. Yeah, 2022. And he has such a cool style. He has a great contour line on his characters. And then he does neat little kind of brushy hatching sometimes. His use of gray tones is really nice. I haven't read this one yet, but it's pretty cool. Check that out. That guy looks pretty raw, right? That's pretty cool. So another John P. Golden joint. Check him out. John P. Golden, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. Good dude. JPEG. All right, last one, and then we're going to ink something. So this is Ruby and Rubbish. This is another one by Jeremy Brooks, who did the X-Men book. This is his book that he does all by himself. And again, his style is so cool. It's so different. It even feels a little... who am I thinking of? And what's his name? Felipe Andrade or whatever, the guy who does rare flavors. That guy's awesome, and it reminds me of this. So yeah, Jeremy Brooks is super cool. And again, I haven't read this one yet, so I don't know what it's about, but you gotta get a sense of the art. Look at this cool little elbow here. That's pretty cool. Nice. So there we go, guys. If I forgot anybody, or if your work somehow got lost, I apologize. But I really appreciate everybody who gave me some work and let me check it out. You know, it was very inspiring and made me feel really excited to come back home and make comics. So check out the chat here. Kova went live yesterday and shared his experience at the con. Saw your work in his pile and said good things about you. Well, that's cool. I'll have to check him out. I didn't know he had a stream too. I'll have to go check that out. I did get to talk to so many people. I'll forget all of them, but of course I saw my buddy Maria Wolf Lopez. The Wolf is awesome. She's a riot. I saw my buddy Jimmy Kusei, incredible illustrator. Who else did I see? I saw of course, the Mouth Breather Boys and you know those guys, and Manny, and who else did I see while I was there? So many people. Colton, Mastic, and Herrera, his buddy. I can't remember his first name. I'm spacing right now. This is why I have the work in front of me usually, because then I can jog my memory. But anyway, so many awesome people. I'll probably think of some more stories while I start drawing here. So my friend is a big Conan fan, and she's been going through a hard time lately. She's had some sickness, and she's on the recovery. So I wanted to make a little Conan drawing for her, and so hopefully we can make this cool and fun and do a good job here. But it is a fun one, and so we're just going to see what happens. We're going to give it a shot, and we're going to see what happens. I did do some commissions at the show. I think I posted most of them. I did a Juggernaut that seemed to have some legs online. People seem to dig that. I did an Aliens one. What else did I do? I did a few different ones. Not as many as I would have liked. Honestly, last year I had way more commissions than this year. And I don't know if that's just a product of people having tight money right now. I totally understand that, because it's been sort of rough out there for everybody. Or if it's just that maybe people just don't like my commissions anymore. I don't know. But in any case, the ones I got I was very happy to do. I was excited to do another Juggernaut. The guy who commissioned that one really liked that other Juggernaut I had done for Xtober and was wanting to buy it, but it was already sold. And so he asked if I could do one, and I said sure. I said it won't be exactly the same, and he said of course. And so we did that one, and it was really fun. Sometimes drawing at a show is tough because I don't have like all my tools, and so it sort of forces me to be kind of tactical, like, okay, what can I do or not do, with the tools I have here. So like on the Juggernaut, I texted, I was like kind of like mostly done with it, or I thought I was, and I was like, man, this could use some zip tones, but I didn't bring any zip tones with me. And so I texted Dan, and I was like, dude, did you bring zip tones? And in classic Dan fashion, he like didn't text me back like at all. He saw me later and didn't even mention it when we were having dinner or whatever. But he didn't have any tones anyway. He was busy. And I was like, fine, I'm just going to make it work without the tones. And I'm glad I did, because I think that it probably works better the way I finished it than if I had just thrown tones on it. What it did was kind of force me to do a few more areas of spotted blacks instead of relying on the tones to give the volume. And so it was a good exercise for me. And people seem to like that one. Jeremy Heiler loves Game Over Man. All right. And yes, Jeremy picked up my Jubilee Xtober piece that I still had, which was one of my favorite ones I did. And I was really happy that she found a good home with Jeremy. Because I love it when my art is in people's lives. And if it's in a good person's life, hey, even better. Even better. I want it to live outside of me. Got some exciting ideas to share more art soon. I'll share with you guys. But so anyway, we're just kind of keep this guy looking buff and cool here, you know? Maybe put a few scars on him here and there. I love Conan. I tend to skew drawn him pretty big. I know sometimes he's drawn a little bit more, not thin, but, you know, lean. I tend to skew a little beefy with him. It's probably because I saw the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie before I ever read the comics, you know? But yes, Ichthus, the cable did find a home. And not only did the cable find a home, I think I can share this. I'm going to share what happened with the cable. So nobody was buying the cable. And that was like, it's, you know, sometimes I'm like, whatever, you know, I'll hang out with Cable a little bit longer. I like him. I'll keep him in my collection of my own work and kind of just, you know, check in on him every now and again. But then a guy came by and we were chatting about just art and different artists that we liked. And he was a really nice guy. And he was telling me how he was an editor, or not an editor, a graphic designer for Marvel on the new X-Men era stuff. I think how it came up is we were talking about Cable. And I was saying how much I actually like Soldier X. And then we started talking about Igor Kordy and blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, I was like, oh, so like, you know, you worked on Cable books, you know? And he's like, yeah. And he, you know, decided to pick up the Cable. And I was like so happy that it went home with him because he had a sort of an extra connection with the character. And that was kind of cool, you know? That was pretty cool. And again, he was a super nice guy. And of course, I was grilling him about all the stuff that went down, you know, during that time and everything. And I'm spacing on his name. I feel like it was Mike or Matt, but I don't remember for sure. If you're in here, bud, sound off and let us know. And I apologize if I forgot your name. But yeah, he found a good home. I was really happy with that Cable. And like I said, if I had to keep him, I would have been okay with that. There's this Deadpool piece I have that was a commission I did maybe 3 years ago, and the guy never wrote me back and never paid for it. Like, and so I just have it still. And so I'm starting to just think it's going to be mine forever because nobody will buy it. I keep offering it up and nobody will buy it. So that's okay. Sometimes you just live with your art for a little bit. You should have table hopped to all your peers and grabbed the tools you need. Yeah, seriously, dude. Sometimes we do that. There's been times I have definitely borrowed stuff from other people and they've borrowed stuff from me. You know, I mean, probably every show I've borrowed something from one of my neighbors, you know, a pen or a, you know, oh, you've got a colored marker over there, or, oh, hey, you have a gray, you know. I never bring my gray markers because I don't use them very much. But then inevitably I'll be at a show thinking, oh, this could really use some gray marker on here. I don't love that, but we'll figure it out. All right, we're going to give him some bracelet band things here. I'm getting a little stiff here. Let's loosen it back up, Tyrell. Loosen it back up here. Make this feel a little less static here. Let's give him kind of a... We're going to stick with maybe a circular kind of motif on the belt here too. Give him some furry panties here. Blowing in the wind. .44. Wow, time flies. Give Conan the Beef Bros treatment. That's right. Nick Force just watched Conan. I love that movie, man. John Milius. What a dude, you know? Yeah, I even will get down with Conan the Destroyer. It's not as good as Conan. I will fully admit that. It's a little corny, a little cheesy, but I like some of those characters. I like that we get more Mako in there. I like that there's a little bit of comedy. You know, it brings a little bit more of the swashbuckling feel to it. But yeah, it's pretty low budget, pretty bad compared to the first one. But I have an affinity for it from my childhood. Guns Blazing Cable was the best cable you've done yet. Thanks, like this. If you didn't have Jubilee there, I was going to get it. That's fair, Jeremy. More camp but fun. I mean, Kanto. All right, back to work here. Okay, so we're going to get some necklace action here. Okay. Keep his face kind of a little shadowy here on this side. He's got this. I'm going to do him with the headband. I kind of like that headband, which he does have in Destroyer, I think. I don't think he... Does he have the headband? I guess at the end of Barbarian, he has the headband, and the beginning, too. And then Destroyer has Grace Jones and Wilt Chamberlain, and, like, that's just so cool, man. It's so cool. It's cheesy, but it's fun. It's schlocky fun. We're going with wild-haired Conan here. The other side of me at the show was Michel Fife, or Fife, however, I'm not sure exactly how to say it. I didn't really get a chance to talk to him, though. He was very busy a lot of the time, so I didn't want to bother him. And next to him was Don Simpson. I was like, whoa, Don Simpson? That is so cool. Savage Megaton Man and all that. There we go. We're getting something here. This is kind of something, right? I think we need a little more shadow over here, I think. Throw that arm back a little bit. Whatever, we'll see. Okay. Okay. Sword here. I know it's not going to look exactly like his sword, okay? Just give me a break. It's going to look like a sword. Conan's had a lot of swords. Alright. But yeah, I am exhausted. I'm still exhausted from yesterday. It's just been, or from this weekend. it's been just a blur, you know. Okay, that's all right, right? That's looking kind of all right. I might even just bring this even in a little bit more. Maybe we just turn this into smaller shapes over here. We might work some white back in there. Okay. We're getting close. Darkest Dungeon vibes. Yeah, thanks, yeah. Oh, the Basil soundtrack, dude. Oh, man. Basil Palladores, one of my favorite composers. I mean, you nailed it, right? On Conan, it's great. RoboCop, it's great. Heck, man. He even did this movie called Quigley Down Under, which I love, and it has an awesome soundtrack. He's one of the greats. He's definitely one of my favorite composers. Okay, here we go. We're going to keep this kind of chonker here. Apply these letters a little bit. So, let's see. Okay, and don't worry, I know there's a word there. I am going to add it. I have a plan. So we're going to let this dry for just a second, and then we're going to erase. Give him Fabio's hair blowing in the wind. That's right. Fife rules. If you haven't checked out Copra, it's a must-read. Connor, I absolutely agree with you. Copra is very good. If you like RoboCop, I'd recommend RoboDoc. Nick Forst, I did. I watched that while I was working the other day, and it was awesome. It was really cool. I thought I knew a lot about RoboCop, but that documentary showed me tons of stuff that I'd never heard, didn't know about. It was very cool. Look at that. I'm smudging it, y'all. But you know what? That's cool. It's gonna be one of those drawings. It's got a battle on it, I tell you what, though, I can't work on this forever because I am burning up in this room. But I'm sure we can make a dent here. And I bet you we're going to throw some zips on this because that's just the way it's going to be. All right. We got our forms there. We got some good lights and darks. We just need to sharpen them up a little bit. Maybe do a tiny bit of white. Okay. Yeah, Chicago is so hot right now, dude. Us Chicagoans aren't used to the, heat like this, man. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Where I spent my teenage years in Colorado is kind of like the desert. It's like it was something like zero point 0.7 inches of rainfall away from being considered a desert instead of like a grassland or whatever it's classified as. Um, it was so hot there, dude. It wasn't humid, but honestly, when people say the whole like the humidities would get you thing, I'm like, no, no, 100 degrees is 100 degrees. We'd get days there would be 114, and it's dry heat, and so like your dashboard is like swelling and cracking, all your paint is fading on your car, and it's just dirt everywhere, just dirt blowing. The wind is blowing all the time. There's dirt all over you, dirt in your face, dirt in your teeth. I'm like, this is awful. I'll take humidity if I don't got to chew on dirt all day. But hey, nobody cares about what I think about the heat in Colorado. So I just want to give, I don't want to overdo it here, but I'm going to try to just give them a little bit of, we just need a little something in here to give them some a little more texture, a little more, these fat black areas are good, but sometimes you can't, if you just have that, it's easy to gloss over. I think it's easy to kind of not look at it very long. But if you have some little stuff like this that can kind of draw you in a little bit, I think that helps. Again, just my opinion, but I think it helps. Let's give them some scars here. Don't forget about the veins. Oh, you know what, guys? I chickened out. So at Heroes, Stephen Platt was there, which, if you guys know me, you know I love Stephen Platt, which means I love Stephen Platt for the 3 comics he made, 30 years ago or whatever, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I guess. Not that he's not still a super talented guy, blah, 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 blah. But yes, I'm a huge Prophet fan, and a lot of that has to do with the art that he was doing on that book. And I had every intent of going to talk to him, and I didn't make it over there, man. I don't leave my table enough at shows because I'm just always, I need every possible sale I can get. And so I didn't make it over there to talk to him, but he was there, and I also was really wanting to talk to J.G. Jones, and I didn't do that either, and I am kicking myself. It's like the weekend was over before I knew it. So maybe next time I'll get a chance to see him and actually meet him and tell him how much I love his work. Okay, see, right now I don't like what I'm doing right there. Let's zoom back out. Maybe we'll do a little bit of this. I don't know if any of you guys made it over to Steven's table or JG's table. Who did y'all see that was good while you were there? You folks that went to the show. Who were your big fun experiences of meeting people? I hope nobody was let down by people they met. Sometimes you meet, an artist you like, and you're like, oh, they're an asshole. I've had that happen. I'm not going to name any names, but it has happened where I've been like very disappointed. You don't have to share those stories, but I hope you didn't have any of that experience. Especially, I hope it wasn't with me. Do just a little bit of this kind of single cross hatch that I like to do, the single hatch, just to sort of give a little something to make you stare at this this bod a little bit longer. That's better. Yeah, there we go. A little looser. That's really what we want. I was a little too uptight up there. That's okay. That's okay. All right, let's define these wrist bracelets here. Let's see. It is hot. It's a dry heat. JG's getting an art book. Yeah, I was hearing about that. Drew Moss was there after the Thunder book. Oh yeah, he did the Thundercats book. That's right. Chaykin. I know I've heard a lot of people say Chaykin's cool. My old partner Aubrey is good buddies with Chaykin and said he's a good dude. I have yet to meet him. I did not speak with Chaykin yet, but someone else this weekend was telling me how much they enjoyed talking to him. Can't remember who that was. Get a little bit of some jewelry action here. Okay. Get more veins going over here. Gotta love veins. You gotta get those veins everywhere. Okay. All right. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Okay, some little delicate hairlines here maybe. So it's not all just these chunks. All right, maybe just run his hand down here. All right, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. All right, we are zeroing in on it here. I met a favorite artist at New York City, and he didn't even look up from the table. Thanked him for my first ever commission 10 years ago. I got to chat with Jim Mahfood, and that was really nice. Chatted with Maria Wolf again, and that was nice. She is funny. Some new artists. Jeremy, you got around, buddy. Nick Force. Were there a lot of AI print booths? I don't think I saw any. I don't think I saw any AI print booths. Was there supposed to be there? I hope not. I'm not a huge fan of that kind of stuff, but you know, to each their own. There we go, boys and girls, and everybody. All right, we're giving him a little bit of some stories here. Nice scars. See, even something like that, you know, giving a character a scar or some sort of trauma. It's just like a background thing. And with somebody like Conan, you want to imply that he's been in a bunch of battles and stuff, and he's a hard dude. All right, that's like all right. You know, that's all right. Okay. Okay. How many more times can I say okay? Okay. All right. Let's get some zips. We'll wrap this up. New York City had a couple of MagFest 2 years ago and had a couple. Oh, that's a bummer. I haven't done MagFest yet. I heard it was fun. I might start trying more stuff like that. We've established that Tyrell needs to do more bodybuilder characters. Hey, sign me up. Sign me up. Gotta love a good a buff boy. Let's see, which ones do we want? Who doesn't love a buff bodybuilder boy? It's like American as apple pie. Okay, I don't see the one I want over here. I want a light one. I kind of want to do a light one on Conan. But I want it to be like solid tone, maybe? Did I not buy any solid tones this time? Shoot. Well, we'll do the next best thing. We'll do one of these ones. Alright. Alright, crush your enemies. So do I want that, or do I want that? That's probably going to be a better bet. Them veins. Yeah, it would be vendors. You're right, Jeremy. Arnold Life Story comic. That'd be fun. 80s films and a sucker for Masters of the Universe. Dude, Langella Skeletor, one of the best. One of the best performances, man. Just because a movie's bad doesn't mean you can't have a really good actor in it or a really good performance. That's my sort of philosophy. Alright. You know what sucks is I don't think this blade is very sharp. So I'm probably going to be a little frustrated by this. But let's see what happens. Because I don't want to change it, but we might have to change it. Man, I just bought a bunch of screen tone and I feel like I'm already going through it so fast. It's just so fun to use. Alright. Says it's best role. Yeah. It's kind of like Raul Julia, you know? He's awesome in Street Fighter. He's so good in that movie. Street Fighter's hilarious, though. It's not necessarily a good movie. I sure like watching it, though. It's an enjoyable movie. So yeah, my next show is Cartoon Crossroads Columbus. That's in September in Columbus. I'm excited for that. I will be at Cake Chicago, but I'm mostly an organizer, so I won't have a table. But if any of you come to Cake Chicago, which you should, it's a really fun show. If you do come, I'm happy to bring some of my books if you want to grab them, or if you want to chat and hang out, grab a coffee or something. Let me know. But it is still a fun show. Not sure if I'll do Heroes again next year, all things considered, but we'll see. I have not applied for anything else yet, so. Cutthroat Island, yeah, that one's pretty good, Nick. His speech to Chun-Li, yes, I remember. I think playing a bad guy must just be so much fun, right? I bet every actor wants to play a bad guy. I know my little brother, he's an actor, and I know that's one of his favorite things. He plays a good bad guy, a good jerk. My brother, he's a pretty talented actor, and he's such a nice guy. So the first time I saw him playing like a drunk, abusive dude in a play, I was like, whoa, like he's good, because that's not him, I was watching that Gene Wilder thing the other day too, and he definitely is somebody that was so multifaceted in his emotional range. I gotta finish it tonight. I haven't finished it yet. So that's one of the reasons I'm not gonna stay on super late, because my wife and I started it and I would like to finish it. Bedtime kind of took a long time today, as it does sometimes. My kid is afflicted with the same problem as me, in that she hates going to sleep. She just is like laying in bed all night awake, which is what I do. And I hope she can get through it, I hope she can find a way with some advice from us. Come on now, get off my finger. This darn stuff. Okay, we're going to move quicker here. This is a little too tight. I don't want it to be so tight. Yeah, see, it's kind of nice when there's some little spots where it doesn't match up perfectly. Like that. I kind of like that. It gives it a little more of a, I don't know, it just adds a little something, Whoops, we gotta fix this. I peeled off something I wasn't supposed to peel off. That's a little too much of a mistake. Darn it, that one's not going to work either. Okay, we'll salvage a piece from here. Got some street racer guys out there in the neighborhood again. Albany Park. No, I love my neighborhood. It's real people. Some neighborhoods in Chicago are kind of fake people, you know. Lest we forget, 90s Mortal Kombat. See, 90s Mortal Kombat, another one with a great villain. Kerry Takagawa as Shang Tsung is an awesome villain. He is a great villain also in Showdown in Little Tokyo, one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. Tia Carrere, Dolph Lundgren, Brandon Lee. That is a strange film, but I sure like it. Whoop. Oh, that's right. They did put Carrie in the games, didn't they, Nick? I forgot about that. I actually haven't played that one. Is it any good? I like Mortal Kombat, but when I was like doing a lot of fighting games, I was more into Tekken. I was one of those weirdos that plays Tekken. I like the wackiness of Tekken. I like the technical stuff. I'm excited for the new Tekken. It should be fun. All right, there we go. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Alright, quick blade change. Again, if I cut my finger off, everybody, please call an ambulance for me. I've seen some bad ones in my days, man, when I worked at the art school. One kid had to get reconstructive surgery from his X-Acto knife cut. Nick says they have a good, that's an amazing MK. They really reinvented it with their newest one. Let's check it out. Oh, dude, yes, Jeremy, the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff, that is good news. I am excited for that as well. I love me some Marvel vs. Capcom. See, when it's a nice fresh blade, it's so much easier to scratch. Look at that. That's so nice. There we go. Okay. Okay. Set him over there for a second. Crush your enemies. All right, next tone, and then we good. We good. We out. Let's do it. Tyrell studied the blade. That's right, dude. Knife culture. Knife culture. Yeah, you can tell it's hot. This stuff is just sticky. Sticky, sticky. Alright. Alright, we're gonna make Conan pop. Oof, buddy, it's hot in here. I'm starting to sweat. Girl, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry out, I'm gonna push it some more. Anybody remember that song? That's a stupid song. All right. There we go. Let's see if we can make this work. All right, what do we got here? Kind of hot in these rhinos. Samurai Champloo's good. Gundam Wing's good. Outlaw Star's good. There we go. Bone and Blade. Right on brand. Let's see if we can do this in one piece. Ho ho! Oh, almost. Almost. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's just scratch in it first and see what happens. And if I really need to take out a big area of white, I'll cut it out. I hope people like this sound, because I do. A little ASMR here for you folks. So we're just trying to bring a little bit of light here. I think I'm going to use it, leave it pretty, well, we'll see what happens. My intent is to not render it all exactly, but to just kind of get some lighter and darker areas in the tones, and then leave a lot of it just gray, and let the line work still do the work, and more have it work a little bit more as like a tone. So, okay, let's get some of these scars in here. Pop some veins here. I might, let's see, I might just take it out on the jewelry, because this blade is already dull. This stuff, maybe I'm doing it wrong. My blade seems to dull so fast when I use this. But yeah, let's pop out some of these here. Let's just see what happens if we get rid of them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, babe. There we go. And that is just about that, y'all. Trying to think what else I would need here, but I think I'm gonna keep it pretty simple on this guy. Just keep Conan nice and raw here. Maybe just a little bit more on this headband here. Okay, couple more touches. We're gonna just give the sword a little love here. And just a few things there. Oh, might as well do the bracelets too, right? All right. See how I get distracted? I get distracted all the time. All right. Here we go. Conan, I'm Conan. What else can we do? Maybe just one more little touch. Let's see here. Let's give it some particulates in the air here, kind of. Give it some atmosphere. Let's sign this bad boy. All right. Hey, what do you think, y'all? We think we did it? I think we did it. I think we should be proud. I hope my friend likes it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm glad you got to see some of the cool comics I got at Heroes. And you guys that were in the chat there that actually came by to say hi, I really appreciate it. I'm really glad that you did. It's always good to chat in person and talk comics and just sort of look at each other's work and get inspired, you know? It was really inspiring for me. So thank you, everybody. And I will do my best to be on here next Tuesday as well, but I can't make any promises. I'm shooting for 2 times a month. Considering my work schedule. So, but thank you everybody for tuning in, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening and stay cool out there. All right, peace.